So today I actually had a request from our oldest viewer, and the one who always requests these Nilfgaard lockdown decks. He wants us to take a look at his deck and see what we think and then play some games with it. And it's the end of the season. I already did all my ranking stuff, so might as well use this deck since we have a few more journey things to get, since I didn't play much in the last patch, since not much was changed. So let's take a look at what this deck is and see how it works. So clearly, if we look at the top, there's nothing above a 9, so it's a Nova deck. It's my guess at least. We have a Invocation. Makes sense. Good card. Curse of Corruption. Normally I'd use Heat Wave and Invocation in any Nilfgaard deck I make. So we can't use Heat Wave because we're using Nova. This makes sense as a substitute. I like it. Ciri Nova. Ciri Nova is fantastic. And I like how it opens up some deck building ideas. Then we have Eskel Pathfinder. Interesting. I guess we wanted an engine card, right? So we wanted a high value engine card. The other one I can think of right off the top of my head would be Kolgrim, right? But we're going to be using instead our Eskel Pathfinder. Interesting. See how that turns out? We're using Master Mirror. Alright, okay, I see how this is. So here's the thing. I'm not against Master Mirror. And if you're going to use Master Mirror, I argue it makes the most sense in Lockdown. Why? Because you're going to have the most low provision cards in Lockdown. You have the fewest provisions, you have to use the least low provision cards. On the other hand, I think Master Mirror works best in a Masquerade Ball Lockdown, and here's why. If you're using Masquerade Ball, right, so you're going to use Masquerade Ball, it's a 15 provision card. You need Aristocrats, right? So if you look at the Aristocrats, you're probably going to have a couple of the higher value ones. Maybe Vincent, maybe Joachim, and that's going to make you use up a lot of your deck's provisions. You're going to end up with a bunch of 4s, right? You might use, I don't know, a few Fangs of the Empire, a couple Tourney Jousts, the Van Molecom Hunter, we'd probably use it anyway. Magni Divisions, maybe some guy who gets boosted if your opponent has a lock. And you can transform those into random legendaries, right? So that makes the most sense to me. But following that, I still think Lockdown's the best place for Master Mirror. And we'll see how that turns out. Never know. I've had some crazy Master Mirror moments when I was trying him out. I won't relate this story now, but there's some good ones. We're going to use K here. Alright, K here can be a win condition. If we face a Vi deck, K here is a win condition round 3. But you have to win a round first, that might be hard. Because 8 points of carryover isn't that big a deal when their carryover is like 50. In the form of Vi's boost. And we have Vigil Forts. Alright, I can see Vigil Forts, makes sense. We are not using Tibor. Okay, so we're only going to be Vigil Fortsing our opponent. Shillard Osterlin. Interesting. Okay, so that's not bad. That, if your opponent's playing Vi and it's in their hand, like starting with, you can hit it with this and it'll ruin their deck pretty badly. Because it's a -7. Well, it won't actually ruin their deck, but it'll ruin their first Vi. Their first Vi will be worse, right? So instead of being an 8, it'll be a 1. And that might get you what you need to win a round, right? Because in order to beat Vi, you need your win condition in the way you set it up and a round first. So if we win round, say we win the first round from that, and then we can set up a round with K here, and they can answer K here, and even if it's round 2, that'd be great. So I could see that working out. FIFA von Garnell, yeah, this makes sense. If we're playing K here, I imagine we're just going to protect K here. You can also protect Nova, especially against Nilfgaard, because if they have a Vincent, they're going to Vincent your defender, right? And then your Nova won't get Vincented. Because Vincenting a Nova is like one of the highest values you can get from Vincent. Double Cross plays Nova, I'm assuming. That's why we're not playing Tibor. Makes sense. Lady of the Lake. I like Lady of the Lake. I'll be honest here. I like the shield. Especially for K here, right? Because it's a powerful engine. There's no doubt about that. But it's weak to move, block, and 5 damage spells. Of those, the most common that I see is if you're up against Nilfgaard, it's going to get locked. There's nothing you can do about that. But in most of the other matchups, it's going to get hit by a 5 damage spell. It's Boiling Oil, it's going to be Nature's Rebuke, it might be Yalzur's Thunder. And maybe get assassinated. But if you have a shield on it, that's not going to happen. It'll still get Giga Scorpion decautioned, but not much you can do about that. Let's see what else we have. Roderick, makes sense. Prize-winning cow. Okay, so we actually have Here's the thing, prize winning cow, if you get the order off, is fantastic, right? If you get the order off on prize winning cow, it's an undamaged greatsword. A fully healed greatsword, which we all know is great, right? 10 for 6. I mean, it's not Draga Larva, but we'll take it. Problem is that they always do that 1 damage, right? But we can protect it with Lady of the Lake. Actually, the shield on it would be really nice. And we can protect it with the Defender. Interesting. I could see this working out, but it's not really a risk I would choose to take normally. But this will be fun. This will be fun. We'll use it. 2 Alzur's Thunders. Guess we don't like Assassinates. That's fine. There's an argument for either one. If you're not using anything synergized with tactics, you can pick whichever one you want. Since we're not using Kolgrim, there's no coded weapons. That's fine, makes sense. Alba Armored Cavalry. I quite like Alba Armored Cavalry after the buff. The +1 buff. It's still like an engine card, a 5 provision engine that after 1 turn boosts to 5 and you lock it is an even trade for the lock. I would prefer, honestly, if you had the lock and answered their engine, that you got a slight edge, like a 1-point edge out of it, but there's things you have to lock, and then it's fantastic. And still good. Tourney Joust, okay, 4 damage removal spell, makes sense. Magni Division makes sense. Memorial Hunter makes sense. Mage Infiltrator, I'm guessing that our viewer here does not like Draga Larvas. So I'm not sure why else we picked Mage Infiltrator, but we did. So this is the deck. I won't make any suggestions now. We'll play it, try it out, and see how it does, and maybe make a couple later. Before we get a game, I should mention that it's entirely possible the person who submitted this deck doesn't have every card in the game like I do. And I'm sure, actually, I'm pretty sure they don't have every card. So it could be the cards they're using is based on their card collection. In which case, any suggestions I make might be like completely invalid because they just don't have the cards. Which is completely fine, and I understand that. But I'm just saying, if you had any cards that make suggestions, if you have the cards, maybe worth trying out. I'm sure they experiment with their deck. Everyone changes their decks now and then. But here we go, getting a game. And I should also mention, there's something else I wanted to say, but I forgot what it is, because we got a game and I got distracted. We're going up against...
Patience is not a virtue I am known to have.
Okay, we're going up against White Frost. I'm not sure locking that is really giving us a lot of value. These monsters though, so I will keep a Mage Infiltrator, deal with it in Draga Larva if he gets it. Alzur's Thunder, I'm not too keen on Tourney Joust here. Alzur's Thunder, sure. But I don't think we need 4 damage, I think 5's enough. He's probably gonna, his engines are probably gonna be Thrive cards. If I can get rid of this. And then we've got a Defender. Got a lock. Got another lock. I don't think I need 2 locks. Definitely don't need 2 of those. Alright, so we'll go with this. We'll go with this. First place, Magni Division, fight the melee road, because I'm probably going to lock with the Morlison Hunter, and I want it to be in the ranged row. I could also put in the ranged row and lock with Armored Cavalry, but it's highly likely this dies. The Empyrean Phantom. Oh, this is the thing. I should mention, these aren't my first games for this deck. I tried it out I've tried it out in a good number of games before this, just to get an idea for it. Because I didn't want to just take it and use it one time. Now here's the thing, we could just go for Master Mirror. Right, because it'll transform Alzur's Thunder. We play the Defender, we get another one, but I think just transforming Alzur's Thunder is fine. Because we're not going to need this 5 damage, right? So we'll just transform that. Let's see what we got.
Speak up! I can barely hear over the sound
Vivian de Tabé. That's probably not how that's pronounced at all. This is interesting. The problem with this is that the highest version card would have 9, but here's the thing. If we play Fifion, right? We play him. It's going to transform her though, so we can't play this combo this round, but here's what we're playing. Here's our plan. We're going to play him, Battle Preparation something else. Set him to a 9. Boom. That's a lot of value. That's the plan. He's damaging my Master Mirror, and the thing is, this is enough value for Master Mirror that I'm happy right now. I don't need it, but I'm not really sure I can resist this Curse of Corruption here. This is a good value for sure. I'll take that. He might kill our Master Mirror now, but he's done his job. Not very often Master Mirror's done his job, but I like it. So Ard Gaith, we're gonna take some frost damage. We're gonna lose Master Mirror. Or we could Vivian it. This is definitely good value. So let's play this. And we'll boost Master Mirror from a 1 to a 9. But our opponent didn't see that coming. The only issue is now if we want to transform another card with Master Mirror, we're going to have to play our defender, and then we can't protect K here. And protecting K here is a win condition. He's going to play a Vran Warrior. Ever units destroyed during your turn boost self by 1. This guy has a very interesting deck. I think it might be worth locking that. So I have 2 locks, so I don't need them both. I'll use this lock now. I like saving Collar, right? Because Collar intimidates your opponent into not playing their good stuff. They have, like, here's the thing, if they have an engine card, and we have Collar, they know they're going to lose it. So they are just not going to use it, and that'll give us time to build up our board, right? Collar's fantastic. It's my favorite stratagem. I use Crystal Skull more, but Collar's my favorite. Probably because Crystal Skull is neutral, and Collar's locked in Nilfgaard. Locked in Nilfgaard. Alright, so we take round 1 here. Getting good value from Master Mirror. What did he give us? He's worth 6. He absorbed 5 damage. And then he gave us a Vivian. Vivian was improved by 5, so we would have had 5 points from Elzer's Thunder. Vivian gave us 3 plus 8 is 11. So we got 17 provisions, or 17 points out of 14 provisions. That's really good. Oh, we got our Nova. I still think he's a Dragolarvis, so I'm keeping Mage Infiltrator. I don't want Tourney Joust in this situation. Let's draw another one. Magnivision is good to go first. I like bleeding with Lockdown in general, because your deck has worse provisions than your opponent, and bleeding is a way to trade provisions efficiently, right? So we play a bunch of 4 weak cards like this, this, and this. Maybe they have to play something better. Also, I have to play in this round to get Nova out, and I also have K here, right? So if he's playing a boost reliant deck, we can just win with K here and Fifion, however you say it. As far as our Roderick targets, everything in our deck's gold. So if we bleed here with these cards, we'll have a really good hand in round 3 anyway. So let's go with that. I think ordering in this thing, obviously we want to play Nova late. I'm not sure if we want to commit K here or save it for round 3. Let's see what he has. Wild Hunt Riders. So here's the thing. Like I say in some of my videos, if you play something your opponent doesn't expect, like I don't know what's in a White Frost deck. Maybe he doesn't even play in Dragolarva for all I know. I'm sure he's going to have the leader and Eridan though. So Eridan and the leader, and he has our Ardgaith. And we're going to be playing into 2 rows. 2 rows we're going to take a lot of frost damage. It's unfortunate, there's not much we can do about it. So at this point, there's nothing to lock. I don't think he's playing a Dragolarvis, he would have done that first, so we'll use our Mage Infiltrator.
Do you honestly?
Our lowest point value card remaining.
You fool.
This is worth 5 points. If he has Gurnikora, for some random reason, this would be interesting to see what happened. In the last days of the season, I've been seeing a lot of interesting decks. Not like the standard decks, that's for sure. Nithril, I definitely think that is worth blocking. So we'll play our Alba Armored Cavalry on that. Get a lock. No damage for you. I like Nithril's artwork. There's the Ardgaith. Like I was saying, we have to play into 2 rows with Magni Division, which will take us 6 extra damage. It might have been, honestly, it probably is worth just stacking 1 row so the Ardgaith loses 6 damage, right? Because we get 6 points from Magni Division, probably. 1, 2, actually we got 7 from him. But it's very close. If this round was shorter, I would have just put Magni Division in the same row to dodge 6 damage from Ardgaith value. Because he's not going to move us without his, I'm assuming without White Frost. He might have he has Bruiser. Actually, that wouldn't make sense. Yeah, this is what I would do. This makes sense. Well, if he doesn't have Bruiser, I'm guessing, because he would have moved this already. If he wanted to deny us points. But he knows we won't play into this row, so this makes sense. I think what makes the most sense here is to play Fion. And then just get our Defender out. What do you K will play here? K here, his armor and the battle preparation will tank 4 damage, which is good value. If he's blocking 4 damage with his armor, he's essentially worth 11. 11 for 9 is good even without the defender. It's also entirely possible this gets heat waved or moved. Yeah, there's the move. I expect that. That makes sense. Lose Maggie Division's points now. So melee row is going to start taking damage. We got one instance of Frost coming. We could go for Roderick. There's a ton of options. Most of them are good though. So we could hit his finisher with Shieldard. We could prize-winning Cow behind a defender. Setting up Bladed Lake's really good, especially if he has more Frost. Elzer's Thunder plays it. Invocation is not great, but we have other options. So I think this is a good idea. We'll go for Roderick. We'll put him out here. Put him in the opponent's melee row.
Push on!
We'll take the prize-winning Cow and Invocation. I don't want Invocation in these particularly, and prize-winning Cow can be worth 10 here. I don't think he has a way to interact with it. So that's good. This guy's really confused, like, why is there a prize-winning Cow? It's like me asking you why you're playing White Frost. But that's just what it is. It's just what it is. Cater's kind of exposed here. I think we're gonna play it next though. Oh wow. We lost a prize-winning Cow on White Frost. I have legitimately never seen that card played before in my entire life. I'm just in shock. This is great. This is great content. I love it. White Frost coming in to take out the prize-winning Cow. What's the provisions on that guy? That's White Frost. 8. So we did trade efficiently in provisions, and he lost 3 of his own 1-string guys. Mage Infiltrator got some good value actually. The Spying ended up not being worth anything. And then he took 8 damage, right? 3-3. The 1 Spying died and the 2 1s died, so we'll count that. We'll just count that as all Mage Infiltrator value. We're going to take 2 points of damage here on K here. Honestly, I was too amazed by that at White Frost to pay attention to what he did. What did he do? Haze Feast. Wait, that was earlier. Oh, it's Nithor got unlocked. The Purify from Taskmaster. I mean, there's really only one option here, and it's playing Ciri Nova. Carryover. If he plays a big finisher, we could Legal Force. I think I don't want to, though. If he does 2 damage again to K here, I might Legal Force it. Depending on what he plays, if we get close. He's gonna have the Evolving card in round 3. Man, White Frost. Is this a theme deck? Riders. No, not really. This is playing Grand Warriors. Huh. Why is the Grand Warrior in here? This could be some kind of really weird combo in round 3. Aridin. Okay. So Shield will block this the first time. And then if we pass now, we keep all 8 points of carryover. That's worth it. Let's just pass. We won't take the other 3 frost damage. 2 frost because I have dominance. I'm glad they fixed that bug after like 2 months. Alright, so there's the pass. He's up a card, we have 3 points of carryover. Our deck's strong. I would really like Invocation now. Specifically Invocation. And Double Cross because it's Lady of the Lake. Shillard's good. It'd be better if we went first. I don't think I'm pretty sure at this point isn't using Draco Larvas, which is mind-blowing to me, but if he plays them now, I'm gonna be sad. So we get Eskel out of our Double Cross now, right? Eskel takes out Double Cross. Don't have Invocation, that's fine. Can't complain about this hand. Cave Troll. Alright, here's the issue. If he has some kind of crazy engine, I can't interact with it. If I kill this. So I think the answer is just a Shillard. Hopefully he has something big. I'm guessing that's going to be his Evolving card that we hit. Nagelfar's Crew. Okay. We need to get Eskel out pretty soon.
We make certain the Nightfall is
We'd Escal out, but I think we have more value from Lady Lake's shields, right? She's gonna block 2, then we can shield something else. Is there anything we could get a lot of value out of shielding? Not really. Escal's gonna be worth like 8. It's not fantastic. But we're in a short round, so it's not much else we can ask for. I'm really hoping if Escal wasn't melee, that'd be nice, because we could have a 50-50 of blocking 2 more damage, but we don't have that chance because he's melee locked. Fun fact, Escal Pathfinder was my first premium legendary card I got a long time ago. Put him in all my decks. So I used Escal for a long time, just because of that. Back when he was like a 4 for 10 or whatever. Much better now. Honestly, if you don't have any engine cards, it might be worth trying out. Now let's see, as far as what I want to hit with my shield, I could just save the shield and go with Escal. Just play Escal. If he has another Frost card, he would have played it, so he played Striga, which is probably his damage instance card. I mean, there's a chance he has Emerleith and Emerleith's Wrath, so if he plays Emerleith, we'll use the shield, but at this point, if he has Emerleith's Wrath, he can kill anything. He gets more value. I think we'll just save the shield and see if he has something to set up for damage. Lady Lake's gotten 9 value so far from blocking the Frost with her shield, so that's pretty good. Anytime shields block value, typically the card is good, and like doing its provision value worth of damage, unless it blocks 1, in which case it's okay. It's just typically how it turns out, I found, is if you block more than 1 damage with a shield, the shield was good. What I would think is interesting is right now, I don't think there's a... So if you look at like the bandits, for example, right, there's a bandit that moves a card, right? There's a bandit that like, there's not bandits in general, like neutral. There's a neutral bronze card that purifies, right? The Peller. There's a neutral bronze card that moves, the Strays of Spala. I think it'd be interesting there's a neutral card that gave shield, and I think there is. It's like a palisade wall looking thing. I might want to try that out. Manic Venom. That tells me that we should have used the shield, but he would have just not hit the shield target. What do we get from Legal Forcing ourselves? We get +3 here, with a high roll of 5 and a low roll of 1. No, we're not doing that. Not doing that.
Quite the menial task.
That could have been worse. Might as well shield Escal, in case he's got the Evil's Wrath. We don't lose the Heat Wave, so I'm pretty confident we got this. Unless he has a Spear Tip. Heat Wave. Alright. He didn't get his Evolving card, which is nice for us. That was a good game. Good game. Getting into the next game here, let's see. The last one was pretty interesting. I'm curious to see how this does versus meta decks. Alright, so Uprising. This is more interesting.
Patience is not a virtue. I am known
Oh,
to
for those who are
have.
curious, this is what I'm saying, guys. Lockdown. Just play Lockdown. Sometimes you get a free win. Your opponent just quits. See that? 10-second win. Perfect. Love Lockdown for that. The last game was really something, wasn't it? Hopefully this time we go up against a more interesting opponent. I mean, that would have been interesting, I think. But they just didn't want to deal with us. To be fair, if you can't give Zeal to some of the cards with Inspiring Zeal, it's really bad. Or Uprising, rather. If you can't give the boost with Uprising and get the last one, a lot of the cards just require the boost to function. Or they just couldn't deal with without having it. They just didn't have a chance to win, they thought. Certainly possible. Now I am kind of curious what we'll get this time. I want to go up. Oh, Lockdown mirror matches. Like I was saying, this happens all the time. Because Lockdown counters the most of the meta decks so well that everyone else just uses Lockdown. You're stuck like this endless Lockdown loop, which is rather amusing to me, at least. I find it pretty funny. So to be a Lockdown player, we don't need Mage Infiltrator. We're gonna lose Nova to Invocation, and if he is playing Nova... So here's the thing. The Nova mirror match, I don't want to play Nova. Because if he takes it in round 2 or 3, he's going to have a Nova again. So either we save it for round... Okay, we're fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine if he takes it now. Dandelion Poet. Oh man, is this the bandit deck? So else doing bandits? Man, this is so much more fun than just like the metagames. But I'm not sure if we can actually test the power of the deck like this. So I have, which lock do I have, melee or ranged? Range, so this goes melee. Honestly, I don't think the Troubadour is a bad card. That's honestly not a bad card. And there's the infantry. I don't think infantry is bad either. Like, it's not awful. If it had armor to start with, it'd be one of the best 4-point art engines in the entire game. Unfortunately for this guy, it takes like, here's the other thing. It takes setup. If you have a way to give armor that's naturally in your deck, say if Miner could give armor to non-dwarves, this card might actually be used. I mean, that's a stretch, and you'd have to have more than one of the card that gives armor in your deck, like Royal Guards, whatever it is. The Northern Realms card also gives armor, right?
I wonder what nice things were captured this time.
That's pretty good. I don't imagine that in this case we're gonna be too scared of this card. Wagon. Okay, full bandits. Full bandits. With lockdown. Hey, I made a deck profile about this a while ago. No Dandelion Poet, but let's see what this guy thinks is good. Give armor. Am I concerned about the armor? What's he going to armor? Armor's scary in Northern Realms, they have dual. Here it's only good for protecting stuff. If you protect something that gets really big, I have Corruption, and also K here's not bad here. Problem is we lose out on our Magni division, and it doesn't look like he has anything to lock with. Otherwise he probably would have blocked it first. But K here, if you just play K here, you might pass. Okay, I'm feeling the thunder. Not really willing to sacrifice everything. Alright, so we have another wagon. I'm not really concerned about wagon. Just Good Lady of the Lake, I guess. Things I even want to keep playing this round. You just traded 4 provision cards and he's played Poet. I don't care, let's just pass. I don't see any benefit to continuing this round. We could, but what's the reason, right? We don't really have a reason to do it. It's like we're gonna gain something amazing from doing so. Alright, our hand's strong. Really strong, but I don't want this many golds because we might not have enough for Roderick. Nova, okay, so we're gonna Thunder out Nova and then we can hit whichever one of these we need. If he bleeds us, it's gonna be pretty rough, but we're gonna go with this hand. I'll just see how this turns out. I'm not sure what he's using to go with his bandits, right? Because you can put in like the Troubadours and the wagons and some other things, and it's alright. Troubadour's back. Okay, so maybe he has a K here. He's getting... So he gives you decent carryover. It's just so low, then you play it. Alright, I'm not concerned too much about losing Pathfinder here. So cement a good, strong start to the round. If it goes longer, we'll get a lot of points. It's not like we need him for round 3. And if he has a lock, we might get it on this guy. Or even like a big removal like Invocation or something. We could play our Nova. So that tells me that he's done now. He's gonna pass. Because if you're on Ironmancy, something weak out, it means you're spinning your deck. Because you get 2 uses of an Ironmancy, right? comes back the next round. So now it's when we play Nova. He'll pass and then we'll pass.
Save me some time.
Yeah, so he passes, we pass. Then we have our Nova carried over. We have our K here, and our Fifion. We got the most important card in our deck. The prize-winning cow also. Magni Division is not a card I want to see now. Doesn't make much sense. And there's only one gold in our deck, right? Master Mirror. Master Mirror is really not very useful here. But honestly, whatever card we put in our deck we have access to via Roderick, as long as it's a gold card. So what I think we'll put back in our deck is Curse of Corruption, because that's the one I might not want to play, right? We got Master Mirror, so now we have to play it to play Roderick. It's unfortunate. Probably just transform it though. So let's start with Fifion. See if he has anything big he wants to play on us. If he has any type of big removal, he'll probably get it out now. The Heat Wave or whatever. We'll see if he has that. I imagine he might have a Vincent. A lot of these lockdown decks can use Vincent Van Morlehem because they want to have a strong removal card. And if he's playing... yeah, Heat Wave, I'd say. If he's playing Heat Wave, like everyone plays Heat Wave, that's his Heat Wave target. We'll go Lady of the Lake now. I think the shield's going to be for the cow, because K here is going to get locked, so the shield doesn't help him. If they lock prize-winning cow, it's a 1 for 6, which is awful. But we're just going to play this. Okay. Here's the thing, I want to lock this and I also want to Shillard, because he's probably using Letho, Ox, and Sarah, and his Letho's going to come out soon. Hitting Letho is pretty big. It's probably more value to lock this right now, though. Next I'm going to play Shillard. He's not going to play playing Boost, so I don't care about K here, really. Let's use Vesemir. Mentor, right? K here gets us points here, but I'm more concerned about playing Shillard first. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play Shillard. I'm guessing we're going to hit a Letho here, which is an 8 down to a 1. That's my guess for what we hit. Because I don't imagine you play the Witchers, the Ivo, without playing Ox, Letho, and Sarah. Probably Vesemir too. So here's the thing. I like this idea he's doing, by the way. The 4 provision bandits, the wagons, it makes sense. They're not bad. You can armor up some important cards like Ivo. And then you use high provision cards that are worth a lot of value like the Witchers. And I think this deck building actually makes quite a bit of sense. I like it. It's along the lines of what I did when I made my bandit deck. So I think I went harder for just bandits. Well, that's unfortunate. His highest units are 3. Huh. So he's a lot of
Getting any of this? You understand a word I'm saying?
He's got a lot of special cards. A lot of special cards. Okay. I see. I think K here is warranted here.
I am no Nilfgaardian.
If we shield it and he here's the thing, he has a lot of... If we know this is his highest unit, he's gonna have the guys who boost by the highest card in our deck, right? So K here needs to be protected. K here just needs to be protected. If he has a lock, he has a lock. That's just all there is to it, but we need to protect this because I'm sure he has the removal spells and he's going to have big boost cards. If he can't answer K here, we win the game. Honestly, we might have wanted to wait a couple turns for K here, but if we play prize-winning cow now, it's going to die, and Curse of Corruption just hits his guy. And we're going to hit Seer Khan. This is a really interesting deck. Really interesting. This transforms. Oh, boosts. So this is going to die. So if we're going to play Curse of Corruption, we have to play it now, or else we're going to hit our own guy. So, Roderick. Curse of Corruption. There's no other option, right? If we boost he's gonna have, he probably has an answer to K here, right? If he doesn't, and we have to play Curse of Corruption, which we don't, because we just discard our card. But that means Roderick's a dead card in our hand. I want to get my value now in case he doesn't have an answer. Or in case his answer comes later. Playing Cow with no protection just feels terrible. Alright. Alright. We always have Invocation or move something big. Vigil Force gets a lot of value in this scenario from hitting him. And then we don't have an Invocation target. Things I want to transform into Cow. So to get value out of that, maybe a second option, I should play Vigil Force now. So we can play Mirror and hit the Cow. That's what we're going to go for. Take out Sirkan.
Stars reflected in a pond of night sky.
That's really not what I wanted to see. So here, he's an Invocation and got a random 9 now. Then we got the Invocation this. And, Vigil Force, man, come on. Don't do this to us. He has his own Ironmancy now. Oh, that hurts. And that hurts even more. He played Heatwave already. But he has still his Invocation. Okay, it could have been worse. It certainly have also been better. Here's the thing. We could just high roll a Vincent here. We could also high roll the Defender. That's our best option because we're gonna get Invocation for -30 and lose the game at this point. So the only way we win the game is if Mirror does something crazy.
Good. I was getting bored.
That's not too bad. Actually, it's pretty bad. Huh. Yeah, there's that.
I'll rip and tear until you're done for.
We Invocation here because we have to. So yeah, 2 cards. One is Shillarded, but he already played that one, right? That's the Geralt. So these are going to set equal to the highest card in our deck, and he's going to win. Triangle and a triangle, that hurts. A lot. I guess he wins. Letho Kingslayer. Huh. Really didn't get the cards we needed from Master Mirror, but that's what Master Mirror does. Is there any way to do this? I don't think so. That's unfortunate. Vigil Force lost us this game, but not much to do about that. It's a risk every time you play Vigil Force. Sometimes you search their deck for their win condition that they don't have. 7, 10, 15. Up against. Ooh, this is a good lockdown. Because I'm imagining this is they want to hit what, Ciri for the draw, and then Keltullius. We definitely need an Andrago Larva answer here, that's for sure. These are good. We have 2 locks. We have Nalzir's Thunder. We have Shillard. Shillard and Keltullius is amazing. We might get away with that. And we have Master Mirror if we don't need this. Honestly, this is a weird hand. Are we going first? We're going first. I always like checking that we have the stratagem instead of just going by 3 cards in hand, so this is actually not great if we're going first. If we're going second, I'd like this hand, but first we need to get rid of this. And probably this. We needed going first type cards, and this one's okay. The problem comes with our next card if he answers this right, because what are we gonna do? Probably just go into Wagenberg. What? I'm so confused. What is going on? I'm just gonna lock that. Here's a tip, guys. If you don't know what your opponent is doing, and they play something weird, you should probably just get rid of it, because you don't know what they're gonna do. It's probably some kind of crazy combo. Probably just wants protection for something. I don't know. Bomb Heaver. Oh, it's a Maduk deck. I gotcha.
Don't say that.
I gotcha. Makes sense, makes sense. Okay. Starting to make a little more sense here. He has bombs, so I'm gonna put a shield on this. I might have to purify bomb, but we'll at least keep our Magni Vision alive, and if he purifies it, we take the 4. That's not too bad. I'm guessing he'll play that, I'll get his Medoc out. We don't really have an answer to Medoc. We could Invocation, but then it's a dead card in our deck, right? I'll just let him get his Medoc value. Another Iron Founding Infantry. What's with the bandits? Did someone make is some streamer just playing bandits now? I mean, it's not I dislike bandits. I made a whole, like, 2 videos on bandits or something. I think he's gonna have Wagon, right? So locking this is preemptive. But I think we go for Nova. Go for Nova. Hit him with this. See if he gets out of the round. So it's a fairly large deficit he has to overcome at this point. He could Heat Wave us because he's going to have Heat Wave because everyone has Heat Wave. So this is a Purified Bomb. Honestly, playing Nova wasn't that smart. I wanted him to get out of the round. It's not like Nova's our win condition. If he's playing bombs and he's playing Carapace, he still has Keltelius, right? The question is Keltelius in his hand now? He would have kept it. I think we don't get any value from Infiltrator. There's a lot of bad choices now for our Roderick, so I don't want to play him. I mean, bad combos like Curse of Corruption plus anything is bad, so there's one other card we do not want to play now. I don't want to play it. Lady of the Lake would be good. I think we just play Shillard and hope we hit Keltelius.
An extraordinary plan.
If he keeps going, we're gonna have to Roderick next turn. I hope for Lady of the Lake. There's other good choices too, but Lady of the Lake would be the best. Especially because we can prevent the Cataclysm damage with the shields. Damage and banish. That's fine. So we did go first. He's gonna get good value here. I think we Roderick. Hope for the best.
Out of the way!
There's Lady of the Lake. So I'm gonna shield up both rows, I'll absorb at least 1 damage from stuff. Then we play Prized Cow, and hope he doesn't 3 damage down our cow through the shield. If he has the Purify Bomb, that's great value for him, hitting with Prize Winning Cow. This is the problem with Prize Winning Cow, there's just too many things that end up countering it. Like, it's fine. It's a fine card. I like Prize Winning Cow. Not least for the fact that Short killed me in The Witcher 3. I didn't know about it, and I just killed some cows to get leather, and boom, dead. Or whatever you got from cows. I think it was leather. Some cow meat. It's a while since I played The Witcher 3. Anyway. Alzur's Thunder. I'm guessing he has a Mata. So he's holding Nova in his hand, and we hit it. Ooh, shielding Nova is amazing.
Do not make me beg.
I'm guessing it's Nova in his hand. Hey, he's a 10 though, right? He's a 10, he's not Nova. What is it? I'm guessing he has his Keltelius then. Interesting. This is a good time for Master Mirror, honestly.
High time to pay the piper.
That's a good card. I'm taking that. We're gonna play Cow next. So let's just pretend Master Mirror is a 6 for 6 for arguments, a 4 for 6. So he's worth 4 provisions. So he's worth 4 provisions and we're getting 1 charge out of him. Let's think about it this way. He's a 4 for 6. That's okay, right? You could play a 4 for 6. A 6 for 4, I mean. He's a 6 for 4. Professional. Good thing he said this. I'm not using it again. I'm not planning on it. Prize Winning Cow. So I was saying, let's pretend Master Mirror is a 6 for 4, right? 6 for 4. And then he transforms, and he gives us a 4 turns into a 12 provision, so it gives us plus 8 provisions in our deck, while being worth 5 less than a normal card. This doesn't make any sense, how I'm saying this. I'm thinking about this some more. Did we just lose our prize-winning cow to Cataclysm damage? We did, didn't we? Through the shield. Yeah, I'm done with this round. Anyway, so if we pretend Master Mirror is a 4 provision card and gives us 6 points, it's a fine card. Just ignore that. And then say he gave us a 12 provision card instead of a 4, so he gave us plus 8 provisions over what was in our deck. That's good. He's good. Very strong here. Well, not very strong. Strong. So that's how I think about Master Mirror. If playing him gives us a card, and the combination of him and that card are better than what I would consider normally being in my deck, I'm happy. And he gave me something good. Also, our opponents never expect this kind of points in one play because of Master Mirror. Or, Nova. So we don't need Tourney Joust. Well, here's the thing. He's gonna play Keltolius, right? It looks like a Keltolius deck. Bombs. He's gonna push this around. I need a lot of points. Kair gives us points. This is good. This is good. I don't think we need this. I like Magni Division in this situation. We can also mess up his Keltolius by giving him the Super General operatives. Magni Division beats that in one card, so I'm going to set up my Magni Division.
My boots got sand aplenty in them.
I'm imagining he's going to play Keltolius with Cave Troll. Nothing else makes sense. It might have been worth invocationing this, thinking about it. But even if we don't need to defend here, there's too much value in Fusion's armor here for me to ignore. If he tries to continue, which I imagine he will. Because the armor's going to block the bomb damage, then it's going to block 1 Cataclysm damage. Is this going to be Heatwave? Oh, Ciri. So he's going to go back up a card. I really wish I had a way to kill that while getting ahead, but I don't. So I'm just going to kill it. Well, here's the thing. He's going to pass now, right? Kair's not going to be worth anything, so I'm just going to play Kair. Because he's not going to boost. So he's just a 5-point card. So we'll use him to get ahead here. Then he'll go back up to even cards. It's fine. Because he's not going to boost with Kair in this deck, right? He's only going to have damage. So Kair is just a 5. So the best use we can get from him is dropping him there. Curse of Corruption's nice against this type of deck that he has. Unfortunately, we're going first, otherwise I'd keep Elzer's Thunders. But as it is, I'd rather have this lock and get another unit. Just like this. Usurper General is fantastic in this situation. We're going to drop a lock first. The unfortunate thing here from a Curse of Corruption, or our Shield Art, is if we hit Keltolius, we can't actually Curse of Corruption Keltolius behind a defender. But we have so much at this point that when he plays it, we'll just deal with it. If he plays Madoc, I'm just going to lock it so he can't keep sacrificing it. Locking doesn't resolve its graveyard effect carryover, it does resolve it going off multiple times in a round, because he won't be able to keep killing it. I don't think he has Consumes. Consume might be an interesting thing to put with him, so you consume it instead of getting value from it. Comes another bomb, then we lock Madoc, see what he does next.
Just great.
If he bombs himself with a Purify Bomb, I'm not sure it's worth it. Let's lock this. Just thinking about it, if you bomb yourself with a Purify Bomb, I don't think he comes back from that bomb, right? Let's see what else he's got. I imagine he has regular... I imagine he has Ciri dash somewhere, which we're going to have to kill. There it is.
Oh, I sense.
So if that goes off, we lose the game for getting a card. So we have to kill it. And I think the way to kill it is Invocation at this point. I want him... He's going to play something bigger than 5, I imagine. And if he doesn't, he's going to have to use bombs on us to get value. And then we can Curse of Corruption, his biggest thing. The thing is, I want to play Curse of Corruption soon, because there's a chance he doesn't actually have anything big. Can't play it here, though. You might have to discard Curse of Corruption. We only have one option, and that's General right now.
Force Brigade, follow me!
We're just have to hope he has something bigger than General for Curse of Corruption. I think he has Keltullius. Problem is, if we injured it with Shillard, this Curse of Corruption is going to kill ourselves. I really didn't want to draw this. But I think we have to. There's this Ciri again. We can Vigil Forts ourselves and hope for a good card.
Oh, I sense trouble.
Vigil Forts him isn't great. If we Vigil Forts an Operative, we have 2 good choices. I guess that's our only choice.
Quite the menial task.
Of course we won't get the card off, but... Is this an 8-point play? It's okay. I really need to play something big now. No, we lost. That's unfortunate. This is why I don't like Curse of Corruption. I don't use it. This is why I never use Curse of Corruption, by the way. So taking a look at this deck and reviewing it, let's just take a look at what I think about it first. What would I change? For one thing, I hate Curse of Corruption. I would never use it. Because sometimes it loses you a game. And why would you play a card that sometimes loses you a game? Granted, it sometimes wins you a game. But it's also sometimes just straight up loses you a game, when instead you could play something else instead that wouldn't just lose you the game. Like Triangle within a Triangle. Triangle within a Triangle is a good card. I quite like it. But I would play that over Curse of Corruption. If we're playing Nova, there's no Heat Wave option, right? So just only look at cards that are less than 9. But let's take a look. I don't think you need Mage Infiltrator. Right. So we look at Nilfgaard, right? In the 4s. If you really keep seeing Draco Larvas, you can play Mage Infiltrator to deal with them. But I think it's better to play an alternate engine card, like Nausicaa Sergeant, which is pretty good now. It's a good engine card for 4. You can play Mage Infiltrator if you want. I'm just not the biggest fan. Magnivision, Moorland Halter makes sense. Tourney Joust is okay, but the thing is, you have a lot of... The Tourney Joust is okay. It's a good card. Keep it. Cavalry's fine. Alzur's Thunder. There's a lot of options for Alzur's Thunder, right? So if we take a look at what it provides, what does it provide our deck? It provides us with removal, and that's it. So as far as removal goes for our deck, we have 2 Tourney Jousts, 2 Armored Cavalries, 2 Van Moorland Hunters. That's 6. I count Lock as removal because it negates the value of a card. If you want to remove a card, it's typically because it gains value over time, and Lock prevents that as well. So let's count that as 6. 6 there. 7 with Vigil Forts. 8 with Corruption, 9 with Invocation. That's a lot of removal and locks. I'm not sure you need Alzur's Thunder. And the question then is, what do we replace it with? What does our deck struggle with? Well, let's take a look at what we found, what I was thinking a couple times during these games. What are our going first cards? Right, so we go first in a round, what do we play? There's only really one choice, it's Magni Division, right? Because we lose value on everything else. That's not a gold card. So Mage Infiltrator, play first is bad. Same with Magni, or Memorial Helm Hunter, it's bad. Can't play the removal cards first. Don't want to play Armored Cavalry first, it's 5 for 5. Then we get into the gold cards. Prize Winning Cow we can't play first, it'll die. Lady of the Lake's a good going first play if we have to, but not in round 1, we want to start with a bronze usually. And then, other than that, like, you don't want to open with a defender if their opponent's just going to not commit to the round. And these other guys, it's the same thing. Mirror is actually fine to open with if you have something good to like a 4 provision card to transform on the left, so that's a good one. But we really only have Magni Division for openers, so I'd add another opener card. So like Nausicaa Sergeant, I like opening with a bronze engine. I don't know if everyone agrees with that, but that's what I like doing. So like I would add more going first cards. Nausicaa Sergeant, and if you don't have that, say we have a couple soldiers, not really enough to justify crossbows, which also you don't want to go first with. But even if you open with, say, a Ardfen Tortoise, just a high point play, that's fine. I would add some of these. Maybe I would suggest taking out Tourney Jousts for Nausicaa Sergeants. You only have 4 locks, so also the what's his name? Master of Disguise could work too. Although I think I'd take Nausicaa Sergeant. How many deploys do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Not that many deploys. Yeah, I don't know. I would add some kind of 4-point engine. I think Nausicaa Sergeant makes the most sense. Maybe it's Master of Disguise. Maybe it's Master of Disguise probably. Add Master of Disguise instead. And then, because the other thing is, if you openly have one going first card, and they typically will play like, I don't know, say you're playing Nilfgaard, they play Tourney Joust on your Magni Division. What are you going to do? Play your locks? Waste your locks? I don't think there's enough things to go first with here. Going second, it's fantastic, but you got to balance that out. I think this is a going. I would say this is a going second deck, and I'm not the biggest fan of going second. And that being said, if it does go second, you need like going second options. Like if they just kill your Magni Division, what do you do? Honestly, in rank, you open round 1, you go first. You play Magni Division, they kill it. What do you play? You just play an Elbow Armor Cavalry without the locks, probably the best choice. If you have Lady of the Lake, you're gonna play her because she's fine going first, and then Mirror. But that's it. There's nothing else really to do. Pathfinder 2 actually, but that's one of our more expensive cards. I would say put more either point slam type things like the even Nilfgaardian Knight works fine for this, right? Just play Nilfgaardian Knight. It's fine in this deck too because if you boost something, there's a good chance it's going to die. So you could boost something up over. If you keep Curse of Corruption, boost something by 2 up into Curse of Corruption range. That's a good use of Nilfgaardian Knight. Invocation takes it away. You can boost something or take away anyway. You could boost. You go first, you don't boost anything. You can boost something Vigil Force is going to kill. There's a lot of choices here. I think the most sense would be to take out Alzur's Thunder. Tourney Joust is flexible, so I like it. I take Alzur's Thunder maybe for Nilfgaardian Knight. Try that out. It's not a bad option. But I think we need more going first cards to open with, especially in the bronze area. That would be my suggestion. Maybe no Mage Infiltrator, no Alzur's Thunder. Instead we go Nilfgaardian Knight and Nausicaa Sergeant. Makes sense. Or a Master of Disguise. Then we have Roderick Search. I keep Roderick. Prize Winning Cow is like a meme. But if you have Lady of the Lake and a Defender, it's okay. I really just can't believe it died to 3 Cataclysm damage with 4 units on the row. It's unfortunate. Let's do some statistics on that. And put it underneath the in the video. I'll put underneath in that game. I'll put underneath the statistics of that because it seems pretty unlikely, but it's probably not if we do actual math. Lady of the Lake. I like Lady of the Lake. It gives protection to 2 things that really need it in this deck: Prize Winning Cow and to K here. Lady of the Lake, I think, is a really good one. It's a 7 for 7. That's fine. And if you get any value out of the shield, it's good. If you shield something you know they're going to damage, it's better. So K here is a really good target, right? Damien too, if you're not playing Lockdown. I like playing Lady of the Lake if I don't need Devotion, and there's things that I really want to shield. Also, love the artwork. Good Lady Lake. It's a fantastic sword in Witcher 3 too. Anyway, we go up Double Cross. You kind of need Double Cross if you're playing Nova to search it out. Fusion. Great card. Shillard we could drop, right? So we'll come back and I'll make a updated deck list for what I think I would play if I was playing a Ciri Nova. There's also no Kolgrim, so we're not playing any of that weird stuff. We put stuff in the opponent's deck. Big Forts is fine, but if you're playing Big Forts, I would add probably play Tibor. But it's hard to get all your units out, right? Because we're not thinning too hard. If we had more removal cards instead of like more removal specials instead of units, it might make sense. K here is a win condition. If you like playing him, he's fine. Master Mirror is okay in Lockdown. It's still not the best card, but it's fun if you want to keep it. Pathfinder, I think there's gotta be probably better uses for 9 provisions. I can't think of any right now, but there's probably some other way to build our deck for those 9 provisions. Could give us a stronger engine, but let me know if you think of any. I think we can play with the Witchers in. Go with Ivo. It's a good one. You can put them together. Could drop Shillard for Ivo, but I don't know. Interesting, that's for sure. Anyway, moving up, Nova, Corruption, and Unification. Corruption, you can. Here's the thing. I just can't stand Cursive Corruption because of sometimes you just get it and you lose from having it in your hand. That's just me. Because we can't play 10, so there's no Heat Wave, so maybe you want a second big removal card. But then here's what I say to you. Do Triangle within a Triangle. I love Triangle within a Triangle. The boost isn't amazing here, but there's a lot of times that maybe you play Master Mirror, and they hit it with a 5 damage spell down to a 1, they want to finish it up, Triangle within a Triangle. They play some engine card, like anything you want to deal with, just Triangle within a Triangle. Especially if it's a gold engine like Alzur, just hit it with this. Maybe you don't want Triangle in a Triangle, you can always just play Tainted Ale, but that's less value, more setup. And if you're really concerned with something that you want to, like Cursive Corruption, go always put in a Guara, unless you're scared of the Defender. If you're scared of the Defenders, put in drop one of these Cavalries or something for a Peller if you're Purify. Or even, you can even go with Poisons here. Maybe just a small Poison package. Put in 2 Fangs of the Empire and 1 Cupbearer. Cupbearer has the Purify on it for the option. Or even put in a Movement. A Movement's not bad here. There's a lot of options. So let's take a look. What would I do if I was making this deck? If I wanted to play a Ciri Nova non-Kolgrim deck, I think that's what we'll define this as. Nilfgaard, Lockdown, Nova, no Kolgrim. Taking out Mage Infiltrator. I'm taking out Alzur's Thunder. You know, I'll leave Prize Winning Cowan because I think that's just for fun, and I think he wants to have fun with this. Lady of the Lake I'll leave in. I'm going to take out Shillard. I will take out, where is it, Curse of Corruption. Probably Pathfinder. So we have Mirror, K here, Vigilfort, Suffion. All this looks good. So we're going to replace 7 cards for 45 provisions. Any more? Okay, so I'm going to put in now some 4-point cards. I need more stuff to go first with, like I said. So we're going to go here. So how many deploys do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not bad. That's enough for Nausicaa Sergeant, in my opinion. I'll play him in. The Nausicaa Sergeant. Now, any big cards I want to put in. We're going to play Triangle in a Triangle. That's a neutral card, isn't it? Triangle, it's not a... Triangle in a Triangle. And then we have 4 cards, average value of 7.5 left, so we can put some big cards in. What does our deck need? We need Going First Things, we need Finishers, and Protection. So let's take a look at Nilfgaard. What's Nilfgaard have to offer us in the 7 to 9 range. There's one thing I'm thinking of right now that could be good. Also, there's no bribery in this deck. But let's go Letho. Let's go Ox. Let's go Serret. Where there you are. Letho, Ox, Serret. There's 6. We want an engine for a longer round. Search here. What do we got? How many Witchers are in our deck? It's probably not that many, right? Just the 3. Now this solves a lot of our thing. We remove some removal cards, remove some locks. We get in some more of that in these guys. Now we don't have anything in our deck, so I'd probably add Hunting Pack because we have locks to activate it. Let's go Hunting Pack. Let's take out Tourney Joust now because we have enough other locks in removal with Ox, Serret, and Letho added, I think. So we'll just take this out. Then we have 4 provisions left. Master of Disguise. I would try something like this. We're leaving in prize winning Cow and Lady of the Lake for that kind of stuff in K here. I would try something like this. We needed more stuff going first. We have some of that now. Master of Disguise. Nausicaa Sergeants. We still have a lot of the core of the deck, the prize winning Cow, Lady in the Lake. We dropped Shillard. We've got more Witchers. I know everyone has these, the Ox, Serret, Letho. Well, maybe not the Letho, but the Ox and Serret you have. Try this. See how this does. I think this would probably... This is probably what I'd go with if I was trying to play a Ciri Nova without Kolgrim. There we go. It's a fun deck, good to try out. Maybe try this out, try some suggestions, see what you think. Thanks for watching.